Hi everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Days Podcast along with a new video. So I want to say thank you so much for the new subscribers. Like, subscribe, definitely listen and hear and view all of the content I've been able to produce for you guys so far and will continue to do. Again, I thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. Definitely check out Patreon as far as exclusive content that I'll be posting and putting out, along with Spotify, which has exclusive episodes of those same kind, right on there. So let's talk about music. Let's talk about pop now. Hey, I know I've been kind of drowning y'all with just like, not even, don't take that literal because I know it's summer. I know I've been pouring y'all with a lot of R&B and some hip hop too. So I feel as though we need to get into the pop sense a little bit. Let's talk about, pop a bit. And so I've been meaning to talk about Miss Miley Cyrus for a while. I wanted to talk about pretty much all her albums because there's quite a few, and I feel like there are songs and themes from each album that you guys may have slept on. Okay, and I just think that, as a fan of hers, and she's also around my age too. Like, we're in our 30s now. Like, we here. Okay, so again, I just want to be able to talk about her finally and other pop artists, and we will talk about rock and alternative, and there's different albums still that I need to talk about too, so we gonna be branching it out a little bit. Okay, we need to be talking about a lot, everything pretty much. Maybe why not, so let's get into it. We are going to talk about Bangerz. Bangerz is the fourth studio album by Miley Cyrus, released on September 30th, 2013 by RCA Records. It is her first body of original work since leaving Hollywood Records after her third album, Can't Be Tamed, 2010, and signing with RCA in early 2013. So at this time, she was feeling as though she needed a change, a big one. Not one of those like, oh, I'm now doing this. No, I mean a big change. Because, so she's going to be 32 this year, yeah. So we're gonna take it a step back because it's 2024. We're looking at someone that was, if this is 2013, she wasn't 21 yet. So she was 20 years old at this time. And, even speaking for me at 20 years old, you kind of feel like, okay, I'm ready to just really take in life, experience life. What do I want to do? What do I like? Who am I really? And that was her moment. This was her moment for that, because of course you got Party in the USA, of course you got The Climb, and you have When I Look at You. But those are songs where she was feeling as though, yes, this is Miley, this is me, but there's more. And this was her testimony to that. Cyrus began working on the album and decided against prioritizing her acting career. As originally stated, in 2012, Bangerz is a pop and R&B record with lyrical themes that revolve largely around romance. It is a shift from Cyrus' previous work, which she felt disconnected from. Like I said, pop singer Britney Spears and rappers Big Sean, French Montana, Future, Ludacris, and Nelly appear as guest vocalists. And I think that, that set of features is why a lot of people really just, even from afar, and even if she hasn't worked with them yet, they're just, because it's a different range, and she knew for the type of sound that she was coming out that she wanted it to still be something that people would be able to be like, she did that, you know. And I think that was the point, you know. It doesn't really show when exactly it was recorded, but I would pretty much be certain it was starting to just be a thing of the mind, more or less, into the paper from 2011 till possibly 2013, where it's like, okay, we doing something now. Because yeah, I'm gonna read that in a second. Because it's just the sake of, I'm this huge superstar on Disney, and I have a very clean persona on me. And while there are things that I may have done outside of Disney that are, you know, coming out and, oh my God, why is she doing this? I have to not just own it, but release the persona in such a way that people can still look at that persona and say she did that, rather than she's still doing that. Because Miley is not Hannah. Hannah is Miley, but Miley is like, they're each other, is what I'm trying to say, in a sense to where that's Miley, but Hannah is really Miley. You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say. Not to misconstrue that sense, where I'm saying that Miley's not Hannah. What I'm saying is, where I'm saying with this album and who Miley is, Hannah's Disney, is what I'm trying to say. Okay? Like, Hannah is Disney. Hannah Montana is Disney. That is Disney. Miley is, you know, Hannah when it comes to Disney. But Miley is Miley. There we go. Okay. Just want to make sure y'all understand. So, yes, Bangerz received mixed and positive reviews from music critics who praised its production and originality, but were divided on Cyrus's provocative image. So, yeah, she felt as though she had to be a bit more edgy. You know, when it came to the blonde, it wasn't so much just, you know, long and curly. It was a bob, okay? Like, you know, haircut. And it became Cyrus' 5th #1 album on the US 200 and was the 3rd highest opening week for a female artist in 2013. The album has since been certified triple platinum by the Recording Academy. It was also nominated for Best Vocal Pop Album, or Best Pop Vocal Album, at the Grammys, marking Cyrus's first career Grammy nomination. So this was a big deal. And I think I've said this in a previous video, where it's like, when it comes to mixed and positive reviews, it's because of the controversy, and where people are trying to understand the era as a whole, whereas over time it's like, okay, this was better than I thought. It's like, you think? They took time into this. The album was supported by the singles We Can't Stop, Wrecking Ball, and Adore You. We Can't Stop peaked at #2 on the US Hot 100, and Wrecking Ball became Cyrus's first #1 single in the United States. So, Wrecking Ball is a legendary song. You can't not know it. That's her #1 song. Yes, it is. And I'm not sure whether she's dating now, but in this time she was engaged, and, you know, later in years did become married and divorced. But as opposed to those times, which are in later times and for albums that we can piece in together at the time, this was just her making a stance where it's just, I loved so hard, and right now I'm not feeling it. You said you was gonna be here, you're not here. What's going on? You know? And my thing is, maybe I need to leave. Okay, she went there. But both singles' music videos were once the fastest videos to reach 100 million views on Vivo, and the latter won the award for Video of the Year at the 2014 VMAs. Cyrus further promoted the album with International Bangerz Tour in 2014. So she won Video of the Year. And at the time when YouTube was like doing like crazy numbers on videos, like, oh my God, did you see this? 100 million views. That's a big deal. And she reached that so quick. Nowadays, you know, it's possible for, I guess, the right topics and the right song, I guess. Because we ain't seen that go on in such a long time. And in recent times, we're kind of seeing that in some videos, but not a lot. Bangerz and its promotional efforts are lauded as a turning point in Cyrus's career, in which her public image successfully evolved from being a child star who was synonymous with her former television series Hannah Montana to being a contemporary artist in her own right. Cyrus' controversial and sexually charged behavior during this time resulted in several defining moments in pop culture, including her polarizing performance at the 2013 MTV Video Music Awards. So yeah, like I was saying, because of what she was doing, and at the time she was, you know, having her weed and having her drinks, and you know, she was chilling and really letting people know, like, I'm taking this era in with y'all. Like, I am not going to just be just established from a persona. Like, I sing, okay? You know, and not many people can do that. It's not no. There's a lot of artists, and she's not the only one, because Demi as well, you know. Selena Gomez, you know, there's a few artists that, you know, came from Disney, that just was like, listen, I'm out of here. And not in always this light, okay? You know, sometimes it takes a little bit of unfortunate events that had happened where the artist is kind of just recovering from changes, okay? Because it wasn't something that, like I said, is easy, because in such times now, you know, you can be able to just stand out on your own and not always have to be on TV, okay? And at that time, you know, there were children and adults alike that were auditioning, okay? They were going to places and still are to this day. And even if it is for like a streaming service, it's still something that people just be like, listen, I want to do this, okay? But, you know, from Miley, she said, I'm gonna do things my way now. Okay, like, I'm 20, I'm gonna be going on 21. Like, I need to be doing things my way. But yes, guys, so pretty much she said that she pretty much wanted to just work with different producers, and just she wanted to. Cyrus further commented that her project would shut everyone up, and latter compared the record to Bad, Michael Jackson, and that people still are listening to it because it's so fucking dope, and wants people to listen to her album like that. She also expressed her desire to set a new standard for pop music. And you know what, I'm glad I was able to let y'all know that that's what she felt and that's what she said, because it still further proves my point, as far as where it's just like, yeah, when you think of Michael Jackson when he came out with Bad, it was a complete turn in a great way where it's like, no, we out of the Thriller era, like this is next, okay? And you know, when you think about it in such a way, it's kind of like, okay, her greatest success can still be her greatest success, you know? I think that applies to a lot of artists, and most of them actually, because a lot of artists had a similar way, but and just, we can talk about it. We can always talk about it. But yeah. On August 6, 2013, after reaching 13 million followers on Twitter, which is now called X, Cyrus tweeted that the record would be titled Bangerz. So pretty much she had the video for We Can't Stop, the single and everything ready. Hit ding, and the world just was like, oh my god, she's back, what is she doing, oh my god. And she just sat back like I am right now at the computer and just was just watching everything just because it's just, that's all that it took at that time. Nowadays, you know, it's kind of obvious, but at the time, you know, we wasn't always so vividly into what an artist or what anyone is able to be capable of. Now we kind of are seeing things, and people are taking the TikToks and saying, well, listen, I got the receipts, guys. And it's just, you know, it's like, wait a minute. You know, it's like, I didn't even know y'all could really piece in all the, I wouldn't still, I'm not just relaying, but speaking on things that are actually happening in pop culture, but even so, it's just, it's interesting. It's interesting. And you know, B did the same thing in a bigger scale, you know, not with just a single, you know, with an album, you know. I don't think this was like a surprise release completely, but the essence of it is, you see why they worked together. You see why two Most Wanted is a thing, because, you know, they're not too much far apart from each other in certain ways, you know. I love them. So yeah, let's get into the track list, because she definitely promoted with the Bangerz tour and was singing down, and, you know, was really in a leotard and just really just like letting people know, like, I'm grown. Like, it's 2014, I'm grown, hi. But in a good way, you know. I think, you know, and I feel like it, public perception wise, you know. Oh, wait a minute, hold on, y'all, hold on. Bangerz debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200, dated October 16th, 2013, with first week sales of 270,000 copies, surpassing Can't Be Tamed by 168,000 copies. So when I tell you that she did better than what she did before, it was shown here. And yeah, gave her a 5th #1. It honestly let Hollywood Records know, like, you know, I'm glad that you showed me that I can do things there, but I'm gonna do things here my way. Okay, and it's okay. Yeah. Became the best-selling debut week for a female artist in 2013. At that point, later passed by Katy Perry's Prism and Beyonce's self-titled album. Like I said, at that time, everyone was just like, oh my god, like Miley, she did that. And then when Katy, you know, came out with Prism, and Prism came out October 18th, so literally that week when she, you know, she's really, you know, getting some sales, boom, here's Katy. And it's just like, oh, well, wait a minute, Katy's back. And I've said this in previous videos, even when it came to the 90s, like, people would emerge or would come back, and you know, you wouldn't even think that they would come back, because it's just like, well, wait a minute, it's not that these people are label mates either. Like, you know, when they come back, they come back. Okay. Well, I mean, as opposed to now, because Beyonce and Miley are label mates, but at the time, it's like, well, wait a minute now. everybody coming back. During its second week of release, Bangerz dropped to number 2 with sales of 72,000 copies, and dropped to number 4 in its third week after moving 53,000 copies. So it, like I said, when Katie came back, just sales went to her like, oh my god, like Katie's back. And then there were still sales being like, all right, well, I'm gonna get Katie and Miley. But of course, you know, we still was in an era where people can buy things digitally, as opposed, and we are now more than ever. And of course, streaming was starting to come into play a little bit. But let's let Apple Music and Spotify been really kicking back then. Okay, we would have had probably much more perception on a lot of albums. Okay, well, it's kind of shifting that way now as people are kind of listening more and saying, hey, you know, I love this album. So it'll possibly change over time. But, yeah, as of February 2014, Bangerz has sold 1 million copies in the US and is certified platinum by the Recording Academy. On June 20th, 2018, the album has certified 3 times platinum, denoting 3 million album equivalent units. So, like I said, as of 6 years ago, it went 3 times platinum. It also debuted at number 1 on the Canadian albums chart, where it was eventually certified double platinum and entered the top 100 Mexico chart at number 3. So, all over people was really getting into it. Yeah, in Europe, she went number 1 there too when it came to Wrecking Ball and the album. Okay, so listen, let's get into the track list, guys. So Adore You is number 1, We Can't Stop is number 2. So after these 2 songs, I'm over here just like, okay, girl, this ain't Hannah. This ain't Hannah. And I never was trying to think this is Hannah, because you came out with Meet Miley Cyrus back in 2007. So you already was letting us know who you were back in the day. And I'm speaking, you know, based on the times, because I'm not no Gen Z. I am a pure millennial. I lived it. So I already know you was letting us know who you were, even back when you were still saying Hannah Montana. So yeah, you came back. Track 3, SMS, Bangerz, featuring Britney Spears. And again, she's always been a fan of Britney. And it was just great that at that time she was able to have Britney be on a song and show her love for her, with them both being Sages anyway. I mean, why not? Track 4, 4x4, featuring Nelly, good song. Track 5, My Darling, featuring Future, that's a good song too. The ballad you didn't think would exist, you know? It's like, wait a minute, they're singing together. Okay? Track 6, Wrecking Ball, great single, great song. Really defined the fact that she's an adult. Yeah, just she from there just said I need to take things in a different route, where it was Love Money Party featuring Big Sean, track 7. Track 8, Get It Right with the hashtag. That's with Pharrell, okay. Track 9 is Drive. Track 10 is FU featuring French Montana. So Drive, I think y'all slept on. Get It Right, y'all slept on that too. FU, yeah, y'all slept on that, because she definitely was singing. Maybe You're Right and Do My Thing. So Do My Thing is track 11. You slept, yeah, y'all slept on that. Yeah. Now when I think about it, this is the type of album that I actually listen to, like, on the road too. Like, I listened to this album when I would travel at times, and a lot of albums, and I think that's what it is. Like, there wasn't really that many skips. No, there wasn't skips for me for this. No. No. Track 12, Maybe You're Right, great song. And then track 13, Someone Else. That's a great song too. Yeah, like I think that, you know, it's just something, you know, when you look at the 2010s and what that was, and there was a lot more instrumentation, a lot more of, there was more to convey, is what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying that there isn't now. I think now we're sonically hearing things straight from our artists, our faves that we love at home, is what I'm trying to say. Like, when I say at home, I mean like they may do tracks, you know, in special studios. Like some artists have studios in their homes, okay? Some go to studios that they love to go to, and you know, we're hearing it from a place where it's like, okay, we know y'all sat down, you know, like, so. And then the deluxe version bonus tracks, track 14, Rooting for My Baby. Now that's slept on. Such a chill song. That's slept on. Y'all tried it. 15, On My Own. Now that's slept on too. She literally let us know back in 2013, if I'm single, I'm single, and if I'm doing things my way, I gotta do it my way, and I gotta make things happen. And the lyric, you would never listen when I need someone to talk to, because you switched the subject because it's beyond you. Yeah, like listen. She said she don't want to sleep on herself. And yeah, like, just Hands in the Air featuring Ludacris. That was a bonus track as well. And then track 17, the 10th anniversary deluxe edition bonus track. So 23 ended up being the bonus track. At the time, it was more or less a Mike Will Made It song that Miley was featured in. But as of the 10th anniversary, which was last year, they added the song, which works because that was her era, you know, the era that she was literally being, you know, herself in a way where she was letting people know, like, from here, I'm gonna do other things, but just know, I know how to have a good time. Okay. So yes, guys, great album. It's over an hour. You can stream it. Definitely purchase it. And that's another thing too. Like, albums now, like, if you're gonna buy it, like, on like iTunes, or like, they're not as expensive. And again, you know, even making playlists with certain songs and albums, it counts. So, you know, streaming certain songs after a certain amount of time, after a certain amount of streams, it counts as an album. Okay? So it's just like, all right, well, listen. And then a lot of times you're seeing people now getting diamond records for certain songs too. And that kind of applies to the album as well, because it is a part of the album. So it's like, when you see a diamond single, that still portrays to a fraction of that possibly going towards the album, because it is in promotion from the album. So, hey, you never know. But that's the end of our episode and video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll be back with more.